All right, guys. So I'm live with Danielle Dittberner. Danielle, thank you so much for jumping on. I just want to ask you if you could just briefly introduce yourself and what it is that you do for the people listening.
Sure. I just wanted to first say thank you so much for having me. This is a lot of fun.
Pleasure.
So I am a life transformation coach, and my purpose is to empower unfulfilled, high-performing professionals so that they can stand boldly in their own power, courageously conquering fears that come up, and align their body, their heart, and their mind so that they can live an authentic life. Um, that's fueled by all of their passions with tenacity and enthusiasm.
That's
So
amazing. Yeah. I
yeah,
love that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I love being able to help people break through those cycles where they get stuck, because everybody experiences that. I mean, that's everywhere. It's across
That's
the
so true.
board.
So
So
true. So we got connected on Instagram and we got talking about like our goals and our visions and our struggles and everything. And I thought it would be great just to get you on and you could maybe share your story with everyone about how fitness has been a part of your life and how it's helped you to become who you are and
yeah,
how it's influenced other areas of your life besides just your physical health.
yeah.
So maybe you could just
So
share that with everyone.
years ago, when I was a teenager, I was in gymnastics, and that was my first passion, I would say, in life. Just loved everything about it. I loved the way that I could connect to myself and how it really, I mean, as a teen, you're discovering who you are. And it was like I was able to discover who I was through my body and being able to express myself in ways that, I mean, even then, I really didn't know what that really meant.
Yes.
And so then fast forward to, my early adulthood, and I really kind of got away from exercise, really. Like I did a little bit here and there, but there was nothing that was really constant. And I felt really disconnected to myself. I went through a stage of just being like, there's something more out there, and I know that there's something more for me, and I just don't feel fulfilled, and I just have no energy, and I'm in my early 20s, like I shouldn't have this problem.
Yeah.
And I went back to going, oh, like what are you doing with your days? Like you're working all the time, you're spending time with people, but it's not the most quality time. Like there's just all of these things that aren't working. What happened to exercise? It was like, oh, I should probably start doing more of that.
So
So,
did
like,
it take you a while to make that connection that those feelings you were having was maybe because you weren't exercising or
well, yeah, because I did a little bit of like, okay, so what's my nutrition look like? And it was like, well, I'm a pretty good eater. I have a pretty good diet. Like,
so this is after like some self-reflection and looking at kind of your
yeah,
habits. Okay.
yeah. And it was like, well, what about this? What about this? And then it was like, wait, let's go back to the basics of who Danielle is and who she was, growing up. It was like I was always active, and I loved doing all of these things, as far as exercise and fitness went. And it was like, okay, it's time to get back to that. And so I just slowly started. And then I've never been a runner, and
Okay.
I decided that I was going to start running. And that was a new challenge. And I started to just develop this new relationship with myself where it was like, I can do the things that I thought that I never could. Like it strengthened my mind. It allowed me to actually start sleeping better. It allowed me to really get a lot of the stress. And it was like a detox from negative mental energy.
Yeah.
Um, and then that got me back into actually doing gymnastics 20 years later. And I was like, wait, I'm not going to believe that I'm too old to do this thing that I love. Like my body is healthy. My body can do this. And it
Yes.
was more so the belief of I can do this that it allowed me to really do it. And it was just, okay, so now what do I need to do to strengthen my body? And so, like, within that relationship that I was building with myself, I noticed that my relationships with others started changing too. Like,
As you started to
And
appreciate and love yourself more.
yeah, yeah, like friends were like, "Oh, I want to do that with you," or "I want to get more active." And then I even started to make new friends because I'm doing all of this exercise now,
Yeah,
and
no.
some of the old relationships that weren't in alignment really with who I was and the value system that I had,
Yes.
those went away
I
because
think
I'm living up.
a lot of people don't get into exercise because they think it's just about, changing the way that their body looks. And they have this whole idea of, body positivity, of like, you should love yourself where you are. And it's like, that's true, you should, you know,
Yes,
but you should also at the same time like understand that working on yourself in different ways influences all kinds of other areas that you wouldn't even expect. Like you make new friends. That's something that you wouldn't really expect to happen, by training your body. Like you
right,
wouldn't expect to be more successful in your business by training your body, but it does. It helps,
right,
helps your mental health, everything. So it's not just about changing your body. So
right.
as we wrapping up here, I just wanted to ask you if you had any final words of sort of wisdom for people who don't really see a point in exercising. Like they want to know like why they should. What's the point?
Uh, I think one of the biggest things is really connecting to you because we are all spiritual beings, but our body is the framework, is our home that we're living in. And so if you're really wanting to thrive with anything in your life, like you really need to have that connection with your body and really know what's going on there.
Great. Awesome. Thank you so much, Danielle. I really
You're
enjoyed this
welcome.
episode. I think it's going to help a
Thank
lot of
you for
people.
having me.
Awesome. No problem.